The 2011 Pillars of Character are displayed on posters found in every Northside classroom. At the annual Northside Education Foundation Gala and Auction, the honorees spoke about the importance of the character traits they represent. The 2011 Pillars of Character are a diverse group of Northside alumni, but they are all leaders in their professions and role models for Northside students. St. Mary's University Law School Dean Charles Cantu is the 2011 Pillar of Responsibility. He graduated in 1957 from Northside High School, which was later renamed Marshall High School. Dean Cantu was the first Hispanic in the United States to become a full-time law professor, and 2011 marks his 46th year at St. Mary's. Even though it was his father who suggested he go to law school, Dean Cantu believes that life takes you where you're supposed to be.
And what I also believe is that we are all responsible for ourselves. And what I have learned at St. Mary's through the Marianist and Catholic teaching is that in many respects we are responsible for others, for the underserved, the underprivileged. And so to be named the Pillar of Responsibility brings all of this together for me, that even though we are taken where we're supposed to be, we are responsible for ourselves. And as part of that, we have to be prepared whenever an opportunity crosses our path.
Another Marshall High graduate is the 2011 Pillar of Caring. Major Woodrow Halstead is currently serving in Afghanistan as a deputy judge advocate in the U.S. Army Reserves. The 1990 graduate is a former prosecutor whose current civilian job is representing wounded warriors in the Military Disability Evaluation System. Major Halstead says soldiers take care of soldiers, which is why the Pillar of Caring is an appropriate trait for him.
On the outside, I can see where one might think that the military, oh, they're hard, they're going to go kick in the door, that sort of thing. But at the same time, a lot of the missions that we undertake are that outreach, helping people that can't help themselves. For instance, in Afghanistan, helping the citizens to rebuild their government, rebuild their communities. The military is one that has a lot of the organizational structure in place to be able to do that outreach and to help those people.
Like Major Halstead once did, Pillar of Fairness David Henderson currently works in the District Attorney's Office. The 1993 Taft High School graduate is a prosecutor in the Family Justice and Victim Protection Division. In his profession and the cases he deals with, fairness requires multiple perspectives.
And in resolving those cases, sometimes we have to think outside the box in terms of what's fair, not only in terms of punishment for the defendant, what's fair with regard to helping the victim recover and move on, but then also what's fair for the community. And sometimes you have to think through how those things balance out to decide what the right decision is.
David is also the 2010 Toastmasters World Champion of Public Speaking, a contest he entered because he thought it would also improve his skills as a lawyer. He says he first realized he was good at talking in front of people back at Zachary Middle School, and he decided to be a lawyer when he was at Timberwild Elementary School. The identical twin sisters who represent the 2011 Pillar of Respect also discovered their career ambitions back in elementary school. Doctors Marina and Selena Suarez are 1999 graduates of Marshall High School, and both became geochemical paleontologists. They even have a dinosaur named after them. Selena says she never outgrew her interest in dinosaurs, which goes back to the 2nd grade. And Marina says her earliest fossil experience came in elementary school.
One of my first experiences with collecting fossils was at Boone Elementary, and myself and my twin sister and some of my friends would go out in the playground and dig up rocks, and there was one particular rock that had a lot of fossils in it that we tried for a long time to get out, but we could never really get out not having proper tools. Pieces of broken pencils and sporks don't really make for good digging tools.
Marina is now an assistant professor at UTSA, and Selena is a postdoctorate fellow at Boise State University. Both appreciate their Northside teachers who encourage them to follow their passions.
I would say, for the students, as far as being a pillar of respect. Just make sure that they go out and respect themselves and respect others, always be courteous with other people, and do their best to pursue their dreams.
Dr. Paul Barton is the 2011 Pillar of Citizenship, and he is truly a citizen of the world. The 1990 Health Careers High School graduate has been living and working in Ecuador as a Christian missionary and an anesthesiologist. He was also one of the first anesthesiologists in Haiti after the 2010 earthquake. For Dr. Barton, being a good citizen means sharing his talents.
When I was in high school, being a student at Health Careers, started to get interested in health professions, and I thought, and I'm a Christian as well, and so and I just feel a desire to serve and use my gifts that God has given me to serve others.
Like Dr. Barton, 2011 Pillar of Trustworthiness William Hurd has worked all over the world, but the lessons he learned about honesty came much closer to home from his dad. The 1995 graduate of Marshall High School spent 9 years working for the CIA and ran for Congress in 2010. Now he works for an international strategic advisory firm. When it comes to trustworthiness, this pillar believes practice makes perfect.
Practice being honest in elementary school, in middle school, in high school. You know, it takes, there's a number of books out about how it takes 10,000 hours of practice to really be an expert in something. Well, you got to practice like you practice sports and dancing and music. You got to practice being a good person, and you got to practice being honest, and start doing that now, so that when you get older, you'll be prepared to make the right decisions when the time calls.
Each of the 7 pillars still remember the Northside teachers and experiences that inspired them as they went on to higher education and careers. Now it's their turn to inspire Northside students as the 2011 Pillars of Character.